Hey guys, Metal Driver here, back with another WWE Elite review. Today I'll be looking at Series 86, The Miz. Looking at the sides of the box, you see images of The Miz. Then on the back you see another image of The Miz, a brief bio, career highlights, a description of this figure, and the rest of the figures that are in this wave. Alright, so that was the box, and you may be wondering why is it that I'm reviewing Series 86 Miz so late after I reviewed my Series 86 Triple H. Well, originally I had no intention of picking up this figure, however El Comiquero requested this review way back when I reviewed Series 86 Triple H, so he has been waiting very patiently for me to review this figure. I said that I would, and I'm finally delivering. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at The Miz.
Miz is about to be devoured before our very eyes.
Alright, and here we have The Miz out of the packaging. But before we take a look at the figure, let's go ahead and look at the accessories that he comes with. Alright, so he comes with a pair of entrance sunglasses and interchangeable pointing fingers. And then straight out of the packaging, he comes with his entrance gear already on. So looking at the headband, it is painted pretty well. It looks pretty good for the most part. I don't see any bad paint anywhere on the headband. At least nothing too noticeable. It does appear that these black lines here are a little bit thicker than the other parts. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Actually, it looks like maybe it's supposed to be that thick and then the thin parts are not painted as well as here. But in any case, looking at the head sculpt, it looks pretty good. It definitely looks like The Miz in my opinion. The paint on the lips, the teeth, the eyes and the eyebrows look good. And then taking this off, getting a better look at his hair, it is sculpted pretty well. It has his stylized hairstyle, so that looks pretty cool. Then looking at the other entrance attire accessory, is this big long entrance coat. So it is sculpted pretty well. The design looks good. The paintwork on the lines are good. I don't see any major mispaint, any sloppy line work. So overall the paint does look really good. So I think this looks good as a display piece. However, it is a solid plastic. So it does hinder pretty much all the articulation in the upper body. So you can't really do much posing with this, so if you were into toy photography and you wanted to pose him with his entrance gear, you can't really do that. But as I said, it does look good as a display piece. Then there are pegs and peg holes here, so it is pretty easy to take off. And then you just go ahead and slide this down. Then looking at the body, I think it looks okay. I mean, the Miz isn't the most jacked looking wrestler, although I do think this frame is a little bit small for him, just slightly. It would be nice if there was maybe a slightly bigger size here, but I think any other body by Mattel, it would look too big for the Miz. So it is alright in my opinion. Then look at the trunks. He's got white trunks with silver designs and his silver Miz logo. For the most part, it does look good. Does seem to be some slight sloppiness right here on the groin. Just that black line looks a bit sloppy. And then there is some sloppiness here on the silver and black on this spotlight. But other than that, the front looks pretty good. Then looking at the back, it looks pretty decent for the most part. There are some slight sloppiness on the black lines. However, it's nothing major. It is slightly noticeable, but those are tiny imperfections. And looking at the rest of the lower body, he's got standard black knee pads. And then he's got these cool Hollywood looking boot designs. Paint looks good for the most part. Black lines look good, just a little bit sloppiness right here on the foot. And look at the other side, that one looks a bit better in my opinion. You've got these spotlights on the back, which looks pretty good. And then on the inside of the boots, you got this lettering that says Money Maker. So those letters look pretty decent. The end here does look a little bit sloppy. This side looks a little bit better in my opinion. So overall, not too bad looking. The paint apps aren't perfect, but you can't really expect perfection with a $20 retail figure. So for what it is, I think it looks pretty good. No major mistakes or mishaps on the figure so far. Then going over the articulation, the head is on a ball joint. It doesn't look high up at all. It does look, actually no, it doesn't really look that far down either. His head does turn side to side, and it does tilt really well. Shoulders go that high up, they rotate all the way around. There's a bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, which does get 90 degrees, a swivel and hinge at the wrist. Ab crunch allows it to go that far forward and that far back, so not a big range of motion. There's a waist swivel, ball joints at the hips, which allow the legs to go that far out, that high up. There's a thigh cut double jointed knees, a cut at the top of the boot, ankle goes that high up, that far down, and he has some decent ankle pivot. Alright, and I don't have very many Miz figures. In fact, this is my only Elite Miz that I own, so the only other Miz that I have is this basic Miz figure. So here they are next to each other. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the new Elite Series 86 Miz figure? I think it's a pretty solid modern version of the Miz. Now, as I said, I don't own any other Elite Miz figures. This is the only one I have, so I'm pretty glad that I have at least one in my collection. Now, do I think this is a must-have? Well, that really depends. If you are a Miz fan, sure. Although, there was a Miz figure that was recently released, at least not too long ago, Series 69, which is essentially almost exactly the same figure, just with a different color scheme, and I believe the entrance coat has some different sculpt work, but other than that, it's pretty much very similar to that. So if you already have that Miz figure, perhaps this one isn't really a necessity to have, but if you don't have Series 69, I think this is a pretty good one to pick up. Really, the only thing that I don't like about this figure is the plastic coat here. I'm not a fan of plastic entrance jackets. In fact, I really hate them. I would love to do this kind of pose with that jacket, but I can't do that. So it'd be nice in the future to get a Miz figure with a fully articulated jacket similar to the ones that we see with the Ultimate Edition, or a soft goods jacket. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Again, shout out to El Comiquero for suggesting this video. I know he's been waiting very patiently, so I hope the wait was worth it. And for future requests, I'll do my best to review requested videos, although I can't promise that I can always do that, because I don't get every single figure from every wave. Usually I only cherry pick the ones that I really want. Don't forget to follow me on social media so you can keep up to date with all my wrestling figure photography, and I'll see you next time.